Hey everyone, welcome to Valkyrie Tarot. I am Vicky. I am the face behind everything, so you normally just see my hands. But I just recorded a video on abundance for March 2024, but I'm having technical difficulties. My phone actually stopped recording halfway through because my alarm went off, and I'm trying to upload it to the computer. So it has to reprocess before it'll go on the computer, but keep an eye out for that. It's going to be coming up. It was a really interesting reading, financial wise, lots of pentacles popping up in that reading. But yeah, keep an eye out for that one. It should be coming up either today or tomorrow once I get this video glitch figured out. In the meantime, because I know you're all hungry for a reading, I just did the weekly reading over there, so check that out. It goes from today, 3/2, until 3/9, 2024, or whenever you fall on it. Doesn't really matter. You can even look back on this in May and maybe see how this all turned out for you. But what I'm going to do is I'm being called to kind of do a oracle reading for the energy today. Tomorrow is going to be a portal reading, 3/3. So it's going to be a lot of energy this week. Super energetic. We're coming out of the sun and Saturn being in conjunction. Had, to hold a mirror up to our faces last week. So this next coming week, again, lots of energy coming our way. Portal readings is when it's the thinnest, it's the easiest to kind of communicate. My intuition is spiked around those days. Those and full moons. I don't know if you guys are like me. I can't sleep around a full moon. So like the day before and the day after, like I'm wide awake. Got that Neanderthal brain or whatever they call it. So keep that in mind. Tomorrow I will be doing it live. I'm going to try to do it live on Instagram and on YouTube at the same time. So forgive me if I'm not looking at the right camera, but it will be at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you're free tomorrow, 11 a.m., tune in and I'll try to answer some questions live. That being said, let's do this. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the archetypes oracle here. I actually fell in love with this, God, like 5 or 6 years ago. I was watching another reader and her name is completely escaping me right now. She used to use these all the time. She'd use these at the top of her reading and she'd kind of always have it in a little bit of a backdrop and just talk through everything. So because there are so many of these, I am going to actually use the resource book to read as well, but I'm going to do my best to shuffle these because they're obviously not traditionally shaped cards here. And then I'm going to pull 3 of them for the energy of today, 3/2. So we're just going to do it on a daily thing. Next time I feel up to doing this, I might pull it again, right? So whenever you fall on this reading, it is good for you. It doesn't have to be today, 3/2, 2024. You could fall on it in 10 years and it'll still be good for you because the universe gives you the messages when you need them. Okay. All right. So I am going to split this into 3 and 1, 2, 3. All right. Put the rest back in there. So what do we have? We have the offering. The offering. So this might be like giving alms or giving energy up into the... Wow, I pulled 4 cards by accident. I just saw that. Actually, I pulled 5 cards by accident. Go me. All right. I'll read all of them. Don't worry. The offering is... And I'll get back into the book to do this, but the offering is about understanding that there are higher purposes and making an offering or an intention or a promise to yourself or to the energies around you that you are going to provide. Okay. Next one, we have the crone. So the crone is a version of like the maiden and the mother. Okay. This is someone who is older, more wise, has more developed purposes within their lives. And we have the forest. Okay, so this is a lot about perspective in the most part when we see the forest. Forest is about like seeing the forest for the trees, that kind of saying. Then we have, oh, I love this one, agape. So complete absorption of love and togetherness and appreciation. Okay, and then the last one is the stone. Okay, so foundation. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab this wonderful little book that comes with it, and we're going to look into these, right? Got to pull out my Roman numeral knowledge here. 64. There's a lot of these. This is why I have a book. It's a little like with tarot, it's more instinctual, so you can actually like pull from it a little differently. But with oracle cards, they tend to have their own meaning behind them. So if you ever see another reader pull up an oracle book, don't think they don't know what they're talking about. It's just that oracles are meant for a certain purpose and a certain message, whereas tarot are universal. Okay. Ooh, sorry, I hit my crystals. All right. The offering. Okay. Offering. This is basically unlike any other card in the deck. The offering carries a clear as day message to call to action. As you may have guessed it, it is time for something to be given and or given up for the sake of a bigger picture. Okay. That actually was part of my weekly reading that I just did. So dive back into that weekly reading. That's actually pretty interesting. Okay, so now we got the crone, 13. 13 too. Oh my God, 13 came up in the finance reading. So when I finally get that loaded up, keep an eye out for it. Okay, crone. All right. The crone has seen it all. Nothing frightens or surprises her. She is in the final manifestation in the feminine trifecta of the maiden, the mother, and the crone. In her long life, she has witnessed endless cycles of death, sex, failure, rebirth, conflict, and regeneration, giving her the ability to rise above the world of duality. She laughs at the notions of good versus bad, right versus wrong, as she has seen the earth churning, smoldering, and taking life and giving life. So the crone is almost like the phoenix in this deck, okay? Feminine energy, but, taking gender out of it. It's the ultimate, this is the wise woman, this is the medicine woman type of card. Okay, they have seen everything, nothing surprises them. These are the people you come to for advice because they have seen everything. They know a lot more because of their life experiences. And it's kind of the rise above card too. Like, hey, I've been through all of it. There is good and there is bad, but in the end, it's all energy and it's all about how you see it in perspective. Okay. And perspective is coming up because we've got the forest. So 36. 34, 35, 36. All right. The forest. Consider for a moment your earliest memory of the forest. It's likely it included all the mythic dynamics of the archetypal space. Excuse me. A little fear, a little enchantment, perhaps losing your way, perhaps discovering a secret mystical treasure. Such is the magic of the forest. It requires first that you enter it, and then that you get lost within it. You may think that there's a path to lead you straight through, but soon enough you will realize that that is an unknown path. There might be tricksters here, a dense fog or a dense foliage and entanglement, but equally present are the glimmers of fairy light and the friends along the trees. You're on an adventure now, and there's no turning back. Embrace it. Okay, so that is quite the transition through those three cards. I was originally just going to do three cards, right? So those were the top three. Now we'll get these other two that kind of came in to kind of reinforce the issue here. So we've got 72. So many cards. So many. All right. Oh, this is in the initiations chapter. Interesting. Agape. What if instead of putting yourself at the center of your spiritual practice, you put God, goddess, or nature at the center? How would you change this approach? Such is the energy of agape. It is alive when we are in the awe and the wonder of our breath taken away by a sacred force that surrounds us and asks us for nothing in return. This card can indicate a spiritual initiation that stretches your capacity to love and serve. You sense the earthly and heavenly presence, and vice versa. Such an initiatory initiation moment can appear in any form, and like a healing balm to the modern soul, it affects and lasts a lifetime. So some of you, if you're more spiritual, and I know I do this a lot for the empaths out there, this is confirmation that what we have been going through, our intent, the offering, the crone, the lessons that we have learned, the forest, the path we have had to take, have all been towards enhancing us and improving us towards our spiritual path, increasing us, leveling us up, like you're hitting the mushroom in Mario and you're going do 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 do. You know what I mean? Like 2D, 3D, 4D, 5D, 6, 7, 8, however many more dimensions there are. It's coming. It's coming your way, and it's because you have done what you needed to do along your path. Okay? You've learned your lessons. You're going in the right direction. Just keep going. All right? We got the stone as the last one here. 62. Do people even use do people even learn Roman numerals anymore? I'm just curious. Like, because I know they don't teach cursive anymore in school. Do they not teach Roman numerals? I did take Latin, for those of you that like to enunciate, when I was in school, but I don't remember most of it. It did help me when I was studying for my medical, exams and everything like that, though. So I will say, if you want to go into the medical field or into science, it is important that you study Latin and or Greek, because that's where most of the terms come from. All right, found it. All right, the stone. As an archetypal object, the stone holds psychic and literal weight. Its energy is one of permanence, concreteness, and reliability. The stone's ability to transform is nearly imperceptible to us. That was a big word. As it changes ever so slowly over countless human lifespans. Oh, I get it. It's like water dripping onto a rock, and over thousands, hundreds and thousands of years, it becomes a waterfall, that kind of thing. The stone's ability to transform, oh, I just read that. A single stone may be thousands of generations old, and therefore it contains an ancient and eternal presence. The stone is best used as an anchor for our wild side, so no matter how far we roam, we can always find our way back. The stone tethers us to the earth, helping us to ground and connect to the stillness, the quiet, and the peace. When this card appears, it is likely that the stone is a remedy for what ails us. Humble and easily unnoticed, the power of the stone balances the frenzy in the world. Yeah, that brings this whole reading back into fruition, okay? Because you have the intent, you have learned your lesson, you've traveled your path. It may have felt twisty-turny. You might have gone down the wrong path at first, and now you're realizing your new path. You're on a spiritual journey to enhance who you are. But the stone reminds us to keep ourselves grounded when we need to. And when we feel like things are spiraling out of control, tether ourselves back down to the earth and what is important to us, right? I'm going to get a couple more cards here just real quick. I don't have oracle cards that I just pulled. Just going to get some tarot cards here from the Madame Tarot. Just some extra advice for the general collective that is watching today with this reading. Ten of Wands. Yeah, it already said it in the cards. Ten of Wands. Your journey, whatever you've been carrying, whatever this weight is that's been on you, you're coming to an end. Like, you're almost at the end of the path. You don't have to carry this any longer. Okay. Two of Wands. Yeah. Perception. Making sure that you know which path is right to take. And again, it's just that forest moment. You're walking through the forest, you think you're on the right path, and you look up at the tree and you're like, that's not the marker I was supposed to be following, right? Stop, retrace yourself, find your way back to the path that you were meant to be on. And Eight of Swords in reverse, being able to let go of anxiety, being able to see your way through, see the right path forward. Queen of Swords, be logical about what's going on. Be logical. Don't get emotional over anything, okay? When we make emotional decisions, as good as they feel, and believe me, I am a water sign, I am a Scorpio, as good as emotions feel, they can steer us too fast towards something we're not prepared for. So it's a reminder to be logical. And the Six of Pentacles in reverse over here too as a confirmation. Just be aware of the energy that you are giving out to other people. There are energy vampires out there, okay? There are people that are going to want more from you than you are able to give. And because you're a good-natured person, you're going to want to give. You're going to want to help them, right? But remember, that crone knows. That crone has learned these lessons. Don't be afraid to keep it to yourself and be that Queen of Swords and be like, not today. Maybe tomorrow. But those kind of energies, okay? That being said, energy under the deck is the Knight of Pentacles under here too. So when we see that, it's kind of It's your ability to sit back and look and kind of scan out the whole process and make sure that before you take off on your journey, you know all of the stages that you're expecting and you're preparing yourself for the what ifs along the way. Yeah, this was a great reading. I love it. Hopefully my finance reading will be loaded up soon and you can read that too. Until then, don't forget to tune in tomorrow, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for a portal reading. I'm doing it live. And if you're interested in a reading like this personally for yourself, please contact me. All my information is below. And until then, I'll see you later. Deuces.